Good morning. This morning we're going to talk briefly about evaluating online information, and that includes social media sources, not just news sources. It's important to always, while you're using online sources, assess the credibility and accuracy of each source, and that includes tweets, snaps, TikToks, and news. When you're evaluating social media, it's really easy to just take in everything that people see and not ever open up an article to just look at the headline and forward it on or think, oh, that's just clickbait, and ignore it. Social media can be awesome because it can provide news faster than a traditional news outlet. It can be a great wealth of information, but there's also, because of social media, an ever-increasing need to verify and determine accuracy of every piece of information you take in, which slows it down. So while it can be fast and that you get some real-time updates, it also demands that you slow down and think critically about what you're reading. While you're seeing news stories or articles or headlines or images being flashed to your social media account, you always need to think about the location of the source. Is the person tweeting in the place where they're tweeting about? Are they just reposting? Who is in this person's network? Are they a verified account? Are they a bot? There's so much out there that we just really need to be thinking about all of these things. Can this information be corroborated from other sources? So that means, is this thing that somebody's saying, is that something that you can find elsewhere? If it's not, then don't repost it. If it is, then that's something you can believe. But that means that you have to slow down and go outside of your social media source and double check what they're saying. Contextual updates. Do they usually post or tweet about this, or is this something just out of the blue? So if they have some context, what did they say in the past? Does it have a strong bias? Is it educational? Just pay attention to the context of the stories before and after. And then what is the age of the account in question? Was this account created like yesterday in order to share this information? If so, that's probably a bot, and then you should be wary. If it's old and it's been around for a while, maybe that's something that is going to be more reliable. And thus, we need to think, is this source of information reliable? And these clues are appropriate to think about for every social media account. So if you're looking in your Snapchat, your Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all of those, you need to be thinking about, what is this thing that I'm reading? Similarly, we also need to think about websites and online news sources. Evaluating websites is a cycle. It happens all the time. So when you're looking at websites and online news sources, you're paying attention to all sorts of things. When you open it, I personally think it's helpful to open a website or a news source and a new tab so you save what you're looking for and can go back quickly. It's important to look at the URL. Is it a fake URL that makes it try to look like it's a real news source? A lot of spam accounts try to duplicate the authentic news source, so you're looking quickly there. If you're not understanding what you're reading, then it's probably not super helpful. You're looking to see if the site was updated recently, but not too recently, because the news cycle needs time to slow down and think about what it's posting. Do the pictures match the text? So you might need to do a reverse image search. There is a lot of false information out there about what's going on in the Middle East right now, about what's going on in Australia right now, and people are politicizing issues that a simple slowdown and thoughtful search can clarify that some of these aren't really super political issues. Some of these are just fact-based, but are being blown up. So take time to slow down. And you're thinking about authority. And so does that mean, is this a reliable creator? I know we frequently talk about mainstream media or in general, society talks about mainstream media and what is and is not reliable. So think about what is outside of mainstream media that's still reliable. So like the BBC is a reliable news source based outside of the United States. Al Jazeera is generally a fairly reliable news source. The Independent, CNN is generally considered pretty middle in America politics. So if you can go to some of those sites to verify, maybe you saw something on Snapchat stories and you want to know more, go to one of those sites to find out what's helpful and what's reliable. Because if we constantly are responding out of panic, we're never going to calm down and figure out what's actually going on. So we need to be slow and thoughtful when we're reading news, when we're seeing sources, and that we are constantly evaluating what we're looking at. All right, that is all I have. So thank you, and we'll come talk if you need to come talk.